Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting ready here. For some reason, the actual stream title hasn't saved correctly, so I'm just going to modify that and we'll get started. So, this is going to be turn 50, I think it is actually, which is going to be pretty awesome. We have gone some way, haven't we? We have gone some way. I still don't know why it hasn't changed the name of this stream. Just give me a moment. Right, there we go. There we go, get that changed. And we'll get started in just a moment then. Right, there we go, that should be updated correctly now. We'll be good to go then in just a second. It should be quite an interesting day. We do have the actual attack at Clarke Field today. So that one's going to be an intriguing one. As you guys know, if you guys are watching up to this episode, you're going to know that attacks really aren't easy to predict. We're not very likely to succeed here. I think we might be fortunate to reduce the level of fortifications, and ideally avoid a lot of casualties, really. That would be the best case scenario. We shall see. Just get the link shared and we're good to go. Right, there we go. We'll get started now then. Hey, doing that Parmentier? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, it seems to be a bit weird sometimes, doesn't it? At least it seems to be a little bit more on the ball than YouTube is. YouTube seems to just never tell people sometimes. There we go, we'll get the game going then. Good to have you though, guys. Yeah, it would be nice actually reducing fortifications. This is a problem with it being like times 3. It's so difficult, and then obviously I think there is like level 3 fortifications at least at Clarke. So we'll have to see how that goes. Hey, did that Dutchie? Hello, Better Vulcan. Good to have you. So, where's my tab top here? I'm loving his turn titles. I remember when we started, we didn't have anything. We just had like the same as what we put, and then he started to have a little bit of flair. He seems to be coming alive now through these. Which is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Who knows? So we'll go ahead now. So of course we are resting at Singapore here today. Likely will rest another day after that and then attack. Need to get that disruption and fatigue down. But we are getting there. It's not too far now before we fall Singapore, which is good. Going to continue to bomb Singapore today. There we go. So Eba had been empty, which is an intriguing one. We could have had things done a little bit differently. But it was always good to be prepared just in the off chance. So we do have that Naval Guard unit that I think I might send... I think I might send it to the east of Clarke. Just to make sure that that base is still open, that road is still open to us. But they can't just move in there. Okay. No, but I think he would. I think as far as it goes in Luzon, it seems like it is going to be very much like siege as such. But we'll dig him out. As we are landing over here at Imperator. Okay. I don't know how many troops are here. There's definitely troops over here. There shouldn't have been many. But we'll see there. So we have the APTs going in, just 2 of them. Okay. So move through the night phase. They're fairly uneventful when it comes to it. It seems like the tankers have continued then on towards Kopang, which is good. So we do have the Shimakaze and the Nadakaze engaging the defenders over here then. It looked like we only had 1 gunfire back, so it's not a large amount of men there. Right, so we do see... Right, so he's finally started moving submarines over here then. Which, fair enough, it was bound to happen at some point. But there's a great deal of actual escorts over there, but that's still quite dangerous. So we do have I-15 engaging over here. We do see actual destroyers by Wake Island. So we are out in deep ocean here. ideally we can avoid it. Okay. Near misses. See, this is where we need to have, like, auxiliary pairs and, like, ASs around the periphery of the Empire, just so these submarines can actually go ahead and have that little bit of damage repairs. Okay. So, we do see an AP and we see an... Oh, right, okay, so we see 2 APs here, actually. That's intriguing. Now, we saw them previously moving in towards Wake. They would have arrived during the night. Possibly loaded up. They might have been actually set to actually pick up assets over here, so they might be moving out here. He has become comfortable in. Well, if he's moving troops in, I'd be rather intrigued, actually. We'll see. We do have the ability to actually bombard there. That's not exactly great. Okay. Of course. Right, so it's about to happen. I was surprised due to the sheer amount of actual escorts in that area. But we can put them into... Well, we can put the Sydney Marine into port of Mersing, but we'll get stuff moving there from Mersing. Oh, geez, she went down? Really? One torpedo, she went down? Okay, that's pretty bloody fortunate for him there. Pretty surprised of that, actually. It's not usually something that happens. Right, so we do see more ships over there at Wake. 2 task forces, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously we've had ships there a long time. We'll obviously get them moving now. Obviously they've been there in preparation, well, anticipation of Singapore's falling. But I'm still surprised because there's a hell of a lot of escorts there. Hell of a lot of escorts. Yeah, minding them. The issue is minding Mersing wouldn't be worthwhile. But it might be worthwhile to try and grab them now. But it's a case of, like, do we get enough mines to really make it worthwhile? We'll see. We'll move them out of the way. How you doing there, LCB? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Allied reconnaissance over there. And we do see shipping around, actually, the southern end of, sorry, on the other side of John, we see actual assets moving around near Copenhagen. That's intriguing. As we do have Zeros going in here. So he has moved in 75A Hawks. We have reduced the amount of Zeros actually engaging over Java today, but it seems like he still has some fights over here at Java. We do have 2 sweeps coming in, so that should be good news. Right. Yeah, we had reduced the altitude as well. Should still be able to deal with this. Oh no, we're diving him actually. It seems to be a little bit of a confused situation here. 1-0 drops down there due to fatigue, and I'd imagine. Right, fire from behind. There goes shoot one of the Hawks down. Zero and Hawk damage. The Hawk spins away. The Zero retires from the battle now. Hawk turns away. Now Hawks. What nationality is a Hawk? Then is a Hawk British? Is it American? Is it Dutch? So shoot one of them down, sweeping at 15,000 feet. So I should, yeah, we'll have to keep that altitude high then. We do have a second sweep in here. This is obviously a smaller one, just to free the part of the first one, I'd imagine. We do have 15 Zeros going in here. Yeah, unopposed. G4M1's bombing the airfield here. It's good to see that there's actually aircraft on the actual runway though, so we should ideally be able to hit some of those fighters here today. Okay, speed 36, is it really? Wow. Right, so we do have bombers coming over here at Clarke. That should help us out somewhat today. If we can keep the damage up at the airfield, then that's good news. It means that at least when we do attack, that the damage is going to be lasting in terms of actually reducing fortifications. Hawk is US plane instead of Britain. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. So a few hits in the runway there, nothing too spectacular. We have Sallies coming in here. I'm going to increase the amount of Sallies and nukes on in the near future. What I want to do then is begin bombing Bataan, begin bombing Manila. Right, we do have another strike over here, then Batavia should have another strike coming in after that. These ships over here are intriguing, I do wonder what that could be. So continuing to get runway hits. Yeah, that's looking pretty good then, actually. Yeah, over the out, look at that. 3 there, 10 hits on the runway there. That's pretty good. Should have another one coming in then shortly. Tojo's. Yeah, the Tojo's. Bloody Tojo. Oh well. Right, we do have strikes against Singapore here today then. It's always good to make sure that you actually do get these bloody strikes against Singapore, because you do not want, you don't want that fortification level to like creep up there. So we have got to keep the bombing up there. Yeah, they're just too few at the start. They're good, but they're just too few. Okay, we have an Ida coming in here. Well, 3 Idas, trio of Idas. Right, Falcon's coming in here unopposed. Which is interesting actually considering that I have so much cap over here. One shot down by Flak there. Yeah, I don't think they caused any damage there, but I'm quite surprised actually considering that we do have cap there. Day and night cap. I mean, they came at 100 feet, that... No, actually, it spotted at 9,000 feet and then it came in and attacked at 100 feet potentially. I'm quite surprised. XTRG denied. I like it. Right, so we have Cantonese coming in here. We do actually have 5 862s actually on station here, which is quite nice. The 862 should be able to cause some damage here to the Catalinas. This is somewhat surprising. Are these coming from Moresby? I don't think they're coming from Moresby. They could be, though. They could be coming from Moresby. But I'm quite glad that we actually get to have a chance to shoot at them here, which is quite nice. 86M8, not too long. I imagine by the end of 42 we should have the 86M8. They're from Moresby. Yeah, but we shoot at least 2 of them down there. That's quite good for us, actually. I mean, Catalines are really nice. Really nice. That's not something he would like to have happen there. So that does reduce his actual amount of efficiency in the area. Of gathering information. We do actually have some LRCAP here. So we have 6 key 43s actually shot from the scene. But that's fine. They're going to cause a little bit of damage. They'll probably not shoot down many of them, but they'll shoot down some. He'll probably have to stop this then. But getting some damage here on the bombers for free is pretty good. Right, dive in here. It would have been nice had we had more, but we can't really ignore the safety of Bangkok. But shooting down one of them is pretty nice there. Behind another. Yeah, there we go. Shoot down 2. Now this is pretty low altitude, so we do have a lot of maneuverability here. Instead of 1 damage. Yeah, if we had more numbers here, that would have been nice. Now we are pretty... Well, we're not... Well, we are somewhat far out from Bangkok, aren't we? So one squadron there drops out. You create a bot to respond to GFAM. If I had the... maybe one day. It depends on how much it amuses me, really, at that moment in time. Okay, so you can see that we're dropping off here. Yeah, looks like we're done there. So, we knock out 2 of them, we shoot down... Well, yeah, we shoot down 2, damage a few others, that's not too bad. We'll have the actual crossing here today. Right, there we go. So it wasn't as effective this time around, which is nice. You can see there's no Japanese losses. But we shoot down a couple of them, that's nice. He's going to have to be honest now. He's going to be kept honest by that now. Because he's going to have to think, right, okay, well, I might fly into a cap here. Okay. But I'm quite happy to see that we shoot down some Catalinas, so we're moving to the PM phase here. But it's still... Right, so we see a coastal, interesting cargo. Right, submarines around the area. The Blenheim 1F is a night fighter, that's good to know. See ships moving around the Philippines there, which is intriguing. I do wonder what they could be. Okay, Allied reconnaissance. I imagine he's going to be aware that we have MKBB at Oosthaven, as we are going to move them away. Likely so, anyway. Port Moresby. I think we were due to actually... Yes, we were due to actually bomb Port Moresby here today, I think. Were we? I think so. Sometimes I get a little bit confused between the games. Ooh, there's a lot of shipping there. That's a lot of 139s there, but they are attacking APDs. But the 139, I think, is the one that doesn't have a joke bomb load, so we'll have to be careful here. Okay. It looks like we make it out there untouched, which is good news. Yep, they came in 1,000 feet. That's good to know, though. That's good to know that he does have that response there waiting for us on naval attack. We do see L212s over here. Again, I'm surprised we're not seeing any cap, and I think that may be due to the fact that we have the ellipsis supply over here at the starboard. Hey, yoke, I sell you, yoke. Yeah, we do have supply moving down to Palembang today. Will take a few days to arrive, but it is on its way. We are, of course, still producing supply. Right, Tambar, for God's sakes. I hate these submarines out of these areas. He's so good with his submarines as well, that's the problem. Right, we are attacking the Tambar over here. Please let me... Right, there we go. We're actually getting some damage here. Come on, let's get some depth charges in here. We've got to really make use of the shallow waters here. Okay, not as many as I would have liked. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. We've only just moved here, so it looks like it's anticipated that to a degree. We'll just have to keep moving out of the area, really. Can't really linger. We do have mining capabilities out there. The issue is we had a lot of our actual mining vessels sunk in the Dutch East Indies mine setups as well, which was not fun. That's actually a fairly large amount of casualties unloading. 2 destroyed there. Still not exactly ideal though. Right, there we go. So moving forward. So nothing tremendous. We do have a AK sunk this turn, which is not exactly fun. Okay, moving into the land attack. Do we start with Clarke? Right, we do have the Japanese shock attack over here at Luoyang. I believe they're in combat mode. They should be in combat mode. I really hope they're in combat mode, because I forgot to check last turn actually, so we'll see. That's a big battle nonetheless. Alright, we captured Luoyang, okay. They're forced out. Oh, thank God, yes. There was a part of me that I was thinking, did I put them in combat mode? But no, I'd sent them into, I'd put them into combat mode to march over there and forgot about that. So that's fine, that's why I was a little bit surprised. We had 3,313 assault value there, got up against 961, and that was adjusted to 2,522, there's down to 292 there. He had 4 level 3, but that didn't really matter in the end. So we suffered 3,160 casualties there, 4, yeah, very, very light there, really, very light. 4 destroyed, 165 disabled, 2 destroyed, 1 destroyed engineers, 5 vehicle destroyed, 84 disabled, so very light there, quite glad about that. He actually did have a pretty good result there. Had a lot of modifiers going for him, but Jesus, 16,345 casualties, yeah, okay. That's a pretty decisive one there. 715 destroyed, 153 disabled, 433 non-combatants destroyed, 179 disabled, 79 engineers destroyed, 7 disabled, 71 guns, 52 destroyed, 19 disabled, 10 units retreat there. And the good news is we do have tank regiments over here, so we can actually chase him down. This, I believe, is Major Road, so we should be able to chase him down. Do I have a division march in that way? I might have a division march in that way. Though I can't recall if I should win for that in the end. So that's quite good. That's going to soften the blow when we take inevitable casualties at Clarke. Right, we do have our bombardment over here. We should have a 3rd division arriving here shortly, so I'm going to turn that into a deliberate attack then shortly. Doesn't seem to be having much of an impact, but if it can help to soften them up in any way, 143 is not bad. Right, so we do have the attack over here at Clarke Field. Right, so let's hope for the best. I wish we could have got the RF gun battalions into operations. I know I said that last time, and in the summary video as well. But it's just like, come on. Like, the anti-tank guns, like, just, I don't know. Let them be used. Let them be used. Oh well. Okay. P61 Black Widow. Oh, right, that's pretty cool. I think I remember actually using the Black Widow in War Thunder once. War Thunder. That was pretty fun. I'm pretty sure it was one of those. Or I might have seen it. I think I had it, but I can't remember. I tried to forget my War Thunder days. Right, so if we take a look over here then. So we know that he had reinforced them with men from Eber, which makes sense. I can see there's a few units over there that are essentially toothless, but a lot of those units that are toothless really don't matter too much anyway. Subic Bay defences there. The tank battalions are not too fun to deal with. You see a couple divisions there. The strongest being the 31st Filipino Infantry Division. What else do we see? Do we see the Marines there? US Marine Corps AA Battalion. Coastal Artillery Battalion. I've not seen any US Marines as such. Okay. Because my plane's in 0.2 seconds. I was going to turn at the top, that's awesome. Okay, we're going to speed this up and see how we get on. Again, I'm not expecting anything great here. 65th there. Takes a little bit of a mauling, not too bad. 48th, not too bad. Divisions ain't looking too bad here, really, which is nice. Let's reduce it down to 2 fortification. Yeah, okay, so not as good. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. So reduce it down there. 3,000. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all, really. A lot of engineers destroyed there. We are really paying here in engineers. God, that is more engineers I would have hoped for, to be honest. It is going to make it more difficult, but we have reduced the fortifications there. As we have 3,054 casualties. The squads destroyed is not bad at all. I mean, this is it. I'd rather have the squads destroyed than the engineers destroyed. We'll obviously have to wait then for the engineers, but it's probably going to be a case of having to just go for it then. So 6 vehicles destroyed there, 35 disabled, but we do inflict 1,591 casualties. Actually, that's not too bad. We destroy outright 54 squads, disabled 103. Destroying 54 is nice, so that reduces him. He had 10 guns destroyed and 80 disabled, which is actually pretty good there. 2 vehicles destroyed, 28 disabled. 5 non-combatants destroyed, 58 disabled. 7 engineers destroyed, 12 disabled. That's not too bad at all, actually. That's actually not bad at all, really. That's something like a 2-to-1 ratio there, which is not bad at all. I mean, granted, we do have far more force there, but he is in a supremely effective defensive position. So we had 1-to-1 odds there in the end, 1553 to 1420 there. And that's the problem there, Dutchies, the engineers. Engineers are quite precious. We can still continue to attack without the engineers. Obviously, the engineers are just significantly better at that task. But not bad, really. Besides losing more engineers than we would have appreciated, but then there's nothing we can really do about that. We'll just have to take it as it comes. So we do have our deliberate attack over here. Yeah, the 8th Inter Brigade's actually got a decent amount of up there. 57 was pretty up there. That might take longer to reduce them than expected, but they have no supply, so yeah, okay. They'll degrade pretty rapidly. They'll degrade pretty rapidly. We had 74 casualties there, 1 destroyed, 5 disabled. We took out, 97 there, 1 destroyed, 11 disabled, 4 disabled non-combatants. So, yeah, they're out of supply, however, that's going to be the thing there. Terrain, morale, experience, supply. Supply is a big killer there. They're very likely to surrender as well when they do break, so that's good news. So it'll take a little bit longer than anticipated. I didn't think it was that much there, actually. We are attacking over here at Banklin once again. I did it will be successful. We shall see. 24-11. Oh, we do actually capture Banklin on the second time. Wow, okay. That's pretty good news. They retreat, so they actually retreat on the road. Oh, that went really well then, actually. They did really, really well at Banklin. No destroyed, just disabled. We inflict 663 casualties to our 67 there. 22 destroyed, 36 non-combatant destroyed, 5 gun destroyed there. That went really, really well. That went surprisingly well there, actually. The Sasebo 8th SLF went ahead and did a really fine job. Especially considering the terrain there. I'm quite happy about that. Quite happy about that. Okay, capture Tawal? I don't know if that's that. Doubt these forces will surrender. But ideally we can destroy them, really. But they'll retreat across here, I'd imagine. We'll capture the base, not too surprising. Oh, they do surrender? Come on. Hopefully... Oh, second surrenders? Come on, all 3. Yes! All 3! Oh, that's awesome. Hey! That's really nice there. Oh, that's really good news. That's really good news. Okay. 1,531 casualties. I'm really glad they just were outright destroyed there. That saves us a hell of a lot of... Yeah, that's nice. We do have our shock attack over here across the river north of Mulmian. So we are facing the 2nd Burma Brigade with 20 assault value there. We do obviously have the 2nd RTA, the 4th RTA, the 7th RTA divisions here in full force. We have 1/3 of the 6th RTA and 2/3 of the 1st RTA divisions here. Looks like the Royal Thai Army should actually secure this victory pretty easily. Yep, 2nd Burma Brigade being reduced there quite significantly. And that will secure us a very important hex just south of Bagu and north of Mulmian, which is ties to terrain there and jungles, which is very important for us. They're going to be... Oh, wow, one of those units destroyed there. Yeah, they're forced retreat. We capture the hex. And they are sent back into Bagu, which is very nice. Interestingly enough, the defender there was short of supply, so that's even worse there. As we had 208 casualties, 2 destroyed here, 30 disabled, 1 disabled here for non-combatant. We had 945 inflicted there, so we destroyed 30 squads, 67 squads destroyed, non-combatants, 1 disabled. You say that, Evoken, but he's not made it easy in the naval game. He's not made it easy in the... well, let's see. Rebal, then expands fortification. Why am I building... Oh, airfield. I thought it said fortifications there for a second. Yeah. But not a bad turn, then, actually. Besides the engineers being lost at Clarke, which was not... I would say it's less than stellar. But when it says engineers, it doesn't say, like, combat engineers. It doesn't differentiate between combat engineer and engineer. So, ideally, not so many combat engineers, but we'll see. Engineers are engineers, nonetheless, but the combat engineers are the ones that you really want there. The actual divisions do have engineers and combat engineers actually built into their table equipment, into their table organization. So we do have more than it really appears sometimes. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, like, a 2-to-1 ratio there was actually pretty good. He had a lot of scores destroyed, which was actually a really good result there. And what I'm going to do then before I get 4 coming along, and before I get Anno, to be fair, they are, like, really good for telling me this, is to save. So it's good to save first, just in case. Could be, like, some sort of power cut or something like that. Who knows? Or ninjas. That's the thing. So there we go, 12th of January, looking pretty good, actually. Yeah, shouldn't take too long. I mean, that was actually a pretty good result. I don't... is it shock attacks can reduce multiple levels of fortification, but a deliberate attack can only reduce it by 1? Is it something of that nature? Yeah, well, we're going to finish Bataan. We've got all the means in place to finish Bataan in this game. Okay, yeah, should I go ahead and do that for them? So today we do shoot down 2 Catalinas, we shoot down... Sorry, he has 1 Falcon shot down by Flak and 1 lost to Ops losses. 2 Blenders were shot down. We have an Oscar lost to Ops losses, a D3A Val to Ops. He has another PPU Wine 5 Catalina go down to Ops losses there. A B18A Bolo goes down to Ops, and we have a Hawk shot down and a Blenheim 1 lost operations today. So 10 Allied aircraft lost today for 2 Japanese aircraft. Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. This ship that was sunk, though, was a Sydney Maru, but she was only worth about 7 points, so not too bad, then. She was a Toho. Tohos are still pretty good. I do like the Tohos. But obviously it has, I suppose, a problem there. I might be wrong, but I think it's more of how much superior force you have. Possibly so. Possibly so. We'll go ahead and check on them, see how they're doing here, then. Having the tanks there, I'd imagine, helped. The divisions are actually not in bad shape, really. Even 65th Brigade's not too bad there. So we're at 1948 there. A good year. So, fatigue 34, 32, 30, 34, 30, 22. Disruptions up there as well. So, of course, we are going to have to rest here. But the good news is we can continue to bombard. And that is the important thing here, is we continue to bombard. So, even though the deliberate attack is over, we continue to actually keep on pounding him with artillery, which is very good. So, obviously, we can have the divisions here rest. I still wish we had the AT guns in there, but hey, I'll take it. Not too bad then. So, the actual engineers. The 1st Independent Engineer Regiment, not too bad. 23rd Independent Engineer, not bad. Some of these were already damaged. You can see that 21st Independent Engineers took a lot of a pound in there. Check on detail equipment. The engineers actually do have quite... Well, they do. The 1st Independent Engineer is actually really favoured there. 130% of their table equipment. 108, 114, 71 there. So it's the 15th that's taken a bit of a pound in. The 21st has definitely taken a bit of a pound there. They only have 46% of their actual table organisation there. Yeah, quite a lot of them killed off there during that battle. Are they still on deliberate attack? Yeah, thank you for making aware of that. Right, set them to defend. That had been really quite bad otherwise. What I'm going to do here then, just make sure is set them to defend. And go ahead and do it like this with the actual non-engineers, sorry, with the artillery. Go back. Right, there we go. We do actually have a pretty good chunk of artillery over here, which is very nice. I mean, the thing is, the artillery here, these independent artillery units, they're untouched by the battle. I mean, well, I suppose no, but again, that's not entirely correct. You can see they do have fatigue over here, actually. They will receive some damage from counter-battery fire, but they're more or less untouched, which is good. Which is very good. We'll take a look at all units then, so... I'll go ahead and check it like this. So infantry is defending, armor's defending, the engineers are defending here, which is good news. So pretty successful attack then, pretty successful attack. That does go a long way in actually breaking it down there for us. We do have the first Sasebo SLF over here, but they're far too small to have involved in any sort of battle like that. He was building fortifications over here then, which is actually intriguing to see. I like how you actually get to keep that progress, that's quite intriguing. But anyway, we're not going to go ahead and do anything there. We're going to march back to Lingayen. And, yeah. So it'll be a couple more days then before we actually do attack Clarke, but that was actually pretty successful. I'm quite happy about that. I had gone ahead and actually changed the commanders of the 5th Fleet over here, and the commander of the 14th Army was actually pretty good, so I left him as he was. But I think changing the actual commanders did help us. How you doing there, Gary? March to Clarke before Lingayen. Oh, right, yeah, good point, actually, good point. You know, it might be movement to Clarke, actually. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. So if everybody could say it with me at once, like enhance. Yeah, that is movement to Clarke, actually. That's quite intriguing, then. And we also do see movement down here. This is the first time it's actually... I tell you, right, okay. Port capacity is free over here. Right. That's intriguing. 7 units there. So we need to go ahead and start bombing Bataan then, essentially. But it looks like the battle for Clarke is actually going to be over sooner than thought. We do have 15 airfield damage over here, which is really nice. Looks like there's no fighters anymore. That's very intriguing then. Over here we're seeing 5 auxiliaries then. So yes, that's intriguing then. Okay. Is that good for us? Is that better for us? Well, I'd say so. If we take a look over here then, we have jungle over here at Bataan, we have jungle, so we have urban lines over here in Manila. Yeah. I think what we'd be better off doing then is... Well, that's actually really intriguing then, that's actually really intriguing. Did we see that reflected? Oh, so he must be in combat mode then. You can imagine, had he been in movement mode, we might have actually won that battle there. But he's in combat mode, which is intriguing. So we have more units than he does, like actual combat units. So I think we should be able to attack every unit. Oh, that's the wrong bloody battle. I was thinking, wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah, he's moving out of here. That's pretty good then. That is actually pretty good there. Okay, well, that is rather intriguing then. That's rather intriguing. I think how we'll cope with this then, as Gary said Ben, that's a really good idea, actually moving down here to secure that hex side. Now, he's not moving to Manila, which is not too surprising. He's moving forces down here though, and I only do have the first Sasiba over here, which isn't going to be able to withstand like a proper attack as such, so that's a little bit worrying. What is the terrain there? The terrain is clear, so it might... Well, then this is the issue here, I can't really go anywhere. I do have the element of the infantry regiment over here. But then again, I'm not going to be able to face a Filipino division in the field, really. It doesn't really help me if I could send more assault value, but it's not going to do me any good. We still have amphibious forces at Legazpi, so it might be then we go ahead and actually take the naval guard units over here and actually have them sent to the southern end of Luzon there, just in case he actually does push down this way. He may now be like attempted to potentially pull out through the south, perhaps. Maybe. It's interesting anyway. It is interesting to see there. He's aware of our destroy. He's been aware of that for some time now. But that is interesting. So let's go ahead and check over here then. Have I turned my mouse down? Right, there we go. Get it back to normal. So do see 2 task forces over here. We are seeing APs over here. 1 unit over here. Interesting. Right, so he's aware of the Kitapatai. But he's not aware of cargo. So what we can do then is actually have them merge together and then move on towards Wake. I think having 5 carriers here is more than enough to really ensure our security here. So I think what we can do then is move out this way. We do have our H6K4s actually running extended range out here. So if we were to see anything, we'd seen it by now. It looks like it moved there. So we do see Ocean Deep here, but we do have plenty of escorts. We'll just have to set up a good couple ASW forces there, really. The ASW forces are quite handy as well, because they can potentially run into enemy forces as well. Well, enemy forces can run into them. That's quite handy. We do have Twangi over here where we can actually move towards, but yeah, we'll move towards Wake. And if we can actually hit those ships over there, that would be quite nice. But I don't think it's going to linger. But I think we would be able to arrive in due time. It might be potentially worthwhile to maybe try and organize like a night naval attack with the H6K4s potentially. Might want to move more unexpectedly. Possibly. Possibly. We'll have to think over that one. It might be potentially worthwhile to move this way. The shipping would be nice to sink, of course, but then we don't want to lose sight of the actual real objective, which is Wake Island. The shipping there is a bonus. If he does bring in additional troops, okay, we'll figure that one out. But we've got to respect the fact that there could be an American carrier lingering around here. There could be potentially 3 American carriers lingering out here. We have to respect that. So it probably is wiser to stay... We'll go, as Gary suggests there, an unexpected path. And it would probably be wiser to stay near our own sort of bases, our own sort of side of the Pacific here. We do have naval search, but it only goes so far. So we have got to be aware of that. Right, so quite happy about seeing the Catalina shot down over here by Moresby. Well, over here at Ley. That's quite good. He's still moving his forces over here to Ley. I do need more supply at Ley, but I'm going to get some more moved in there. We did have the 2 ships over here move in, so I can have them actually retire from the Ley area back out to Truckman. Okay. They are pretty speedy, so they should be out of the danger zone pretty quickly. But yes, I'm quite glad to see as soon as I should take them. 23% into the size 4 airfield. I'm going to stop the construction airfield for now. Though, right. I could probably get away with it, but I'm going to have to see where I can get supplies from. It has been a little bit more of a pain to move supplies around here in the past, but things are improving here. We are seeing 3 ships over here moving northeast, which is intriguing. So we've seen an AVD, apparently. That's interesting. I will have to reorganize these submarines over here. It's a little bit... I'm not used to having to deal with an opponent who actually runs naval search as such. So I'm not used to the patterns off that off the coast of Australia there. Right, so we see an AKL. Not a major prize, but still one worthwhile sinking. We do have our ships over here moving south. We do have the tankers being escorted by... so he's aware of them over here. But they are being escorted by the heavy cruiser and DDs over here. It might be a better... it would probably make more sense to have them folded into the same force there. Just in case he tried to intercept them. Oh, we do have APs over here, which is intriguing. Okay, that's good to know about. Now... that is good to know about. We know he has the 139s over here by Surabaya. That's intriguing, then. Okay. Seeing 8 fighters, 12 bombers, 11 auxiliaries over here. So Batavia, we're seeing 15 bombers. It looks like the fighters have been disabled for the time being, then. We have 10 airfield damage over here at Batavia. I don't think we ever got the 3rd Sally strike, actually. That might have been down to weather, perhaps. So bad weather. There was a little bit of bad weather over Batavia, but nothing... yeah, extreme overcast, that might explain it. We do see moderate rain over here. We do see thunderstorms over Surabaya. Okay. We do, of course, have the submarines down this way. So we'll see what happens with those APs. We should actually be able to detect them, really, no matter where they go on that side of Java. It's interesting nonetheless. Okay. So, over here, then, I have stopped repairing. Or have I stopped repairing? I have stopped repairing over here. We do have production on the refinery. Of course, the oil is still producing here. So we will produce supply. We're obviously using supply, but we will produce supply as well. But yes, we do have the supply moving down here. Okay, so they only move 1 hex different, but that still makes it worthwhile there, really, separating them like that. So we do have 47,930 tons there, so just shy of 48. We have just over 20,000 tons there, so we do have about 68,000 tons moving towards Palembang then, which should be plenty then with the actual supply generated from Palembang. You can imagine over all those days the refinery will produce quite a decent chunk of supply there. Okay. So we do have the invasion forces moving into BLeAcHACiD. Taking a little bit longer. Time is passing on by, but it's only the 12th, but I want to get moving on here. By the time we have the forces in position, I don't think it's going to be long before we actually do look at landing over here on Java. I still do not have information over here, which is not exactly ideal. We see a unit over here in Merrick. Yeah, what we want to do then is land and take multiple bases at once. That's going to be the way to go there. Seeing these APs is intriguing though. I do wonder where they've come from. Yeah. There's no port here. They might have come from here. I don't know. It looks like they came south. I'm somewhat surprised they made it through the area, but then again, we didn't have any anything hunting them, so any patrols there. So they might have slipped through there. But we should be able to find them. We're aware of them now, which is good. Probably 10 Dutch APs. Probably, like similar to the ones that we sank the turn beforehand. But I'd still love to sink them if they're still even worth 4 victory points. The fact is, it's even beyond a victory point sort of point of view, they're still worthwhile sinking. Sinking as many APs as we possibly can is going to help us in the long run, really. Sinking everything we can is always going to help us. So we'll take a look over here then at Singapore then. So, fatigue there's 35, 32, 16, 12. So we're going to look at least another day here then at the very least. It might even be another day on top of that, in fact. Right. Yeah, it's going to be the way it is. It does mean that it gives additional time for our forces to move south. We do have tank regiments moving south here, and they'll move pretty quickly. It may be that we potentially wait for the tank forces to arrive over here at Singapore. I'm still surprised it's taken so much. We definitely have the means to take it. It's just battering down the defenders there, really. That's unfortunate. So apparently we have 3 out of 10 detection over here at Singapore here today. We definitely had a attack at Singapore, but I'm not seeing any damage at this moment in time. That's not exactly ideal. I'm going to blame that on the weather there. And it might be due to the low detection that we aren't exactly aware of the damage there, but yeah, need to keep that up. We did get some actual runway hits, I believe. So if I go back... He may have repaired it, but we did inflict damage there today. Try and find it now, how... So that's when we're going to the ground attacks. The capture Lo Yang was pretty bloodless for us, which is really quite nice. And we do have the armor that can pursue him. Whereabouts was it? It was a shame to lose the Sydney Maru, actually. I'm surprised she went down in 1 hit. That was a really well-placed torpedo there. How did one actually launched? She was attacking on the surface. That's really... okay, that's really brave. Huh. Okay. Where the hell is it? Okay. Naval actions. So that's Clarke, Batavia, Batavia van. Sing. Right. Okay. Clarke, Singapore, okay. So not many hits there, actually. When they actually went over there, the weather was severe storms. Okay. Hey, didn't that bad? Good to have you, my friend. Did we only have the 1 attack at Singapore today, but it might have been due to the severe storms. That's not exactly ideal. We did have 4 squadrons set to attack Singapore, but the weather has obviously sent us back there. 2 hits on the town, which is nice. I've begun to stream on Twitch to move over here, really. I think probably the majority of streams will be on Twitch and then upload to YouTube, really. Probably still going to be some streams over on YouTube as well. And the reason for it really is well, this is it. I am moving, well, I'll be finding out my grades on Monday, so hopefully I will be going to university, but I do need to try and save off university. So Twitch it's better in the fact that it's the terms are better for creators is probably the way to explain it, really. Hey, doing that, Tan? Good to have you, my friend. How do you play this game? The best bet would be to probably start by watching the videos from the start as well, just because you can actually see the opening gambits, the opening parts of the actual game. But I say the best way to learn how to play is go into one of the smaller scenarios, like the Coral Sea scenario, and just play around, really. Just play around, get a sort of sense of like how things actually work. Even a good way to probably get a sense of how the game works is just load up a Coral Sea scenario, and I'd say click enter, and then just watch how things happen. Just watch how it happens. Just look at the different screens, look at the different sorts of combat that goes on from like naval to ground to air, and just see how it happens. And then potentially bit by bit start to play around with things, and then eventually I'd say move on to play by email with somebody who's at your sort of skill level, or even more. Obviously they can be kind to you, and just learn how to play. I always believe in the method of like learning by doing, but there's plenty of material out there. If you go ahead and join my Discord as well, there's plenty of people out there who are more than willing to help. A lot of people have been in the same situation as well, which is nice. See you later, Infinite. Have a good one, my friend. See you later, Gary. Okay, right, so I'm quite proud of the attack over here that we had just south of Pegu. Seeing 35 fighters over here at Rangoon, which is intriguing. 52 over here, so it looks like he's shifting them around a little bit. Of course, what we would do here then is we would actually attack over here at Tangul. How do you pronounce that? Tungul. The reason being, it's a level 1 airfield. I believe you can inflict... It should be easier to overwhelm a level 1 airfield that in theory has little engineers versus Rangoon, which has a larger airfield with, I'd imagine, more engineers. And okay, that is sad for me, basically. Look, if I can catch your stream on Twitch. Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a pain. I know it's a bit of a pain. It's just one of those things. It's like, I was hoping to actually have a part-time job during this time. But of course, the current situation, that hasn't happened. So it's one of those of like, I'm finding myself in a situation where I don't have as much saved as I was hoping for, really. Plague, indeed. Yes, plague. That's always a good way to call it. But anyway, I'm going to stop bitching. You guys aren't here for my bitching. That's what it's about the game, actually. So we do have the RTA forces over here. Of course, they do have that fatigue. They do have that disruption. Their table equipment are quite low anyway. Yeah, maybe we are. Maybe you are. If you send me some chocolate, then you can listen to me all day. But there we go, looking good there. So we see 4 units over here at Pegu. As to whether it's worthwhile marching beyond Pegu is another one. The situation here is Pegu is clear terrain. It's not really where we want to be, but then again, does he really have the forces to turn us back? I don't think we have the forces of the TIE force. I don't think we have the amount of power of the TIE units over here to conquer Rangoon, sorry, but does he have the forces to turn us back? That's the question. Hey, Dinesh Stein. Yes, my first coordinator to carry an airstrike was pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. That's always a fun thing to see there. Right. Maybe we... I like it, okay. Well, that's a lot easier to do then. Alright. 1 unit over here then. We do have to be aware that there might be potentially Chinese troops leaving China. I'd imagine he'd have to pay the political point cost, but just on the off chance he doesn't. I'd have to double check that rule with him really, but just on the off chance. Because he could still buy out Chinese forces, maybe. I'm not too sure how it looks to the Allies in terms of like political points and really what they need. I'll wait for some honey. I can send you some honey. Oh dear. Tell me about some brands of chocolate actually. I might make a choice then and ask you. Okay. So we do have the division marching there, the 15th division, yep. They're moving across. Yeah, so funny. Right, now, I do have a division actually marching there, which is superb. Yes, and they will arrive next turn. Oh, that's good news then. So, we will have a division actually here. This is clear terrain. This is actually shaping up really well. We should actually be able to really well and truly cause some real problems there for the garrison of Luoyang. But that's worked out well enough. We actually do have our forces arrive over here at Chengchao. We'll have a division here shortly, so we'll actually have Chengchao surrounded actually, which is very, very, very nice. So that would see all these forces over here at Chengchao actually surrender, which is really quite nice. I mean, it's not good because obviously they'll be headed back to Chongqing and restored 1/3 of their strength for free. I think that is how it works in the Allies or something like that. But it's still good to deal with those units outright. That reduces his assault value in the field quite nicely. Okay, let's take a look. We do have 27th Division here, which will arrive tomorrow. They've got 2 miles to march. We'll have them in combat mode. We'll have these forces over here been sent for deliberate attack. Not shock. Though shock could be contemplated. I'm not a big fan of shock sometimes. They're planning for Taigun, which is intriguing. I can change that. I should probably change that, to be honest. Taigun is there. That's probably not going to be relevant. So we'll have them plan for Xi'an, perhaps. Or maybe not. Maybe we wait until we get closer. But then again, we only get a quarter of that, so it probably is worthwhile. Yeah, it is worthwhile converting that over. Is Leonidas good enough? Yeah. Exactly. Right, we'll have that converted. Yeah, okay. So we do have the NCPC army over here. They're in combat mode. So they will help to usher in a greater victory here, ideally. We will win that. I can't say it's not winning that. We do see 1 unit over here, 2 units over here. What I'd like to do is potentially march a unit over here, begin marching a unit over here. Just in the chance that by the time these forces arrive, we might even have a unit over here to stop them from just retreating. But they won't retreat, they'll just act as roadblocks essentially. But if we have enough overwhelming strength, we'll be able to get through them fairly quickly. It will take time, but it'll be easier. We are moving in to fill the garrison requirements over here, which is under-garrisoned. But we do have units moving there. So go ahead and check on the operations port. Okay, so we do have additional ships that have returned to service now. Right, let's see that. Okay. I may even have sent to somewhere in a shipyard to have them repaired, really. 4 free kills there, that's nice. Okay, a few grounded due to maintenance there. Okay. LSC reported hits. Right. So we captured Loyang, Benkelin, Tawu. That base today. Add a ball expanded to size 5, which is good. The loss of the city in Peru is admitted. Okay, that's not too surprising. Okay. Right. Let's go ahead and check on our signal intelligence. Whitehall 7945, Ogden. That looks Russian, Los Angeles and Kodiak, which is Aleutians area, I believe. Yeah, Alaska over here. So he's up to something at Kodiak, which is intriguing. Apparently, it could be just something small, but the fact that he's doing things up over there is something to take interest in. And we do have forces moving to the north over here. We do have the actual forces. Oh, so I did actually send out a Koi over here to Torufu. Actually, I forgot about that. Interesting. Okay. I'm moving a lot of forces over here to Panamashiro and Jima over time, and sometimes it takes a little while for them to actually arrive. Like, for example, this unit over here. By the time they do arrive, I've forgotten about them. Which is fun. Right, okay. So we do actually have some forces over here on Torufu, which is good. I can begin to build up the actual airfield now. What I'm going to be looking at doing then is actually fortifying the Kuril Island. That would be quite nice. If we take a look over here, there are some places that could warrant mines. Could is a... yeah, there's not many. There's not many. That might be a place to potentially consider mining. Because I have a base there, but it's a case of, well, it doesn't really do that much for me, really. So probably not many places are worth mining. We take a look at the low altitude terrain here. We do have some ocean shallow. I'd imagine these much of the... it might be shallow around them, but I'd imagine it's deep ocean still, perhaps. But we do have some shallow there. It's intriguing. I imagine as it gets closer to Japan, well, then again, we do have deep ocean here. We do have shallow ocean here. That hex is really quite important. It's one where we probably want to keep a patrol boat really over that. So that's going to be the actual point at which we actually do get to strike at a submarine if it is moving this way. It's a shame that we don't have a base there. Right, let's just build a pier out here and just actually have some baines hanging off it, because that'd be worthwhile. Well. Or a giant net. That would be good. That would be good. Okay. Right, we are seeing a lot of bad weather around here. Not seeing any detection, which is good. I don't think the carriers are here. I'd imagine he's moved out of the area. And we have light detection of Moresby. It was good, though, to have the A6 and 2s here. That's very good to have. Very good to have. Right. So not a bad day, then, really. It won't take tremendously long to actually finish this turn up. Relatively speaking, a lot of things actually worked out quite well. Okay. Again, I do need supply out here. So if I take a look over here at the zeros then. So we did have the Titan KUS, let's continue that. I can see that we do have the third KUS. Their fatigue has dropped there. I think it was, what, was it 22 beforehand or something of that nature? I can't recall exactly what it was, but we have 12 here now. They have been set to rest completely this turn. So that's good. We could potentially have them moved out. We can't use drop tanks due to lack of supply. I mean, I could move them over here, really, if I wanted to. So we have seen the subs over here. Yeah, I'm quite shocked that he made it in here. So there are a lot, but then again, I suppose they're not on ASW. That's intriguing, actually. I didn't think I had ones that were undefended, actually. I should really get them moving, really. Yeah, I didn't realise we had ones over here like that. Yeah, they've been kind of wasting time there, so we'll get them moving into a proper port then. I might have them move out en masse to Palembang then, due to the fact that it's very well defended. Everything should be able to move up there. I do have the BB in Mersing, but I do need to get moving though. There's a lot of ships over here in Mersing, to be honest. I just need bloody Singapore. I need it. Now that should actually be ocean shallow here, actually. That's intriguing. There's ocean shallow here. That should... Yeah, this is all ocean shallow, in fact. So we've set up some ASW patrols, we should be alright. I might go ahead and just, like, put the AKs and the other vulnerable ships into port. And I could probably flood that area with ASW and depth charges, essentially. It might be a chance to actually hit these submarines out here. It is a bit of a risky venture, but it's something that could be done. Right, so the forces have arrived over here at Kuantan. They're unloading. But not ready yet. Yeah, it looks like we definitely do need to have some sort of engineers here, actually. Sure. So we do have AVs, but they don't seem to be doing it. They provide that aviation support, but they don't seem to repair them the same. It just seems to be like, they're always at 1 day estimation, and it just doesn't seem to happen for us. So I think having actual engineers there does possibly ensure that. We might just be unlucky, to be fair. But no, I'm quite happy about the victory here, so that is good. That is very good. Now the question comes up as, how do we follow up from that? We could potentially move to Bagu, and it might be a case of, well, if we move into Bagu, if they are attacked, they're attacked, but that means he's leaving Rangoon and he's fighting us in the field. And they're not great, but they're not awful. They still have a decent amount of assault value. And Chinese forces aren't that much different, really. They rely on just really heavy numbers. The question comes down to what sort of force may he have at Rangoon, really. It might be worthwhile marching upon Bagu. It might be that we lay siege to Rangoon using the Thai forces. It might be that we make it to Bagu and then we potentially march north, because if we take a look over here, he doesn't have that many units over here. So even get like a Thai division moving up over here could cause a lot of problems for him in Burma. That might be the way to go there, really. Try to cause as many problems as we possibly can. Maybe even march a hex, or even then I don't even need to do that. I could potentially move this way and try and block that rail over there. That might be the way to go, actually. I think either way, I think maybe we do move to Bagu. Maybe we do move to Bagu. I think I'd probably be better off actually resting the forces, but we'll see. We'll see. I think rest now, but we'll see what happens there. The fact that he's moving forces in Luzon is interesting, actually. We're obviously going to have at least a day's rest. It might be worthwhile to actually move the 5th Fleet, to be honest. But the issue is the 5th Fleet, because it is an actual fleet headquarters or an army headquarters. It doesn't, or even an air headquarters, it doesn't actually have support. It does have naval support, but not like support. So it's not particularly any use to ground forces. But the 2nd Division's in good shape. 48th is in good shape. 38th is in good shape. 21st was reduced anyway. But they're actually in pretty good shape there. It was really the engineers that took the brunt of that. But they did succeed. So it might be that we wait a day then, see how our results look, see how the fatigue looks actually, and then potentially attack. But it looks like the end of Clarke is actually coming, and it's interesting that he's actually pulling anything back from Clarke at all, really. I was kind of actually expecting him to make his stand at Clarke, and it really would be a case of if Clarke falls and Luzon falls, but I wouldn't expect him to move before that point. Is he trying to actually pull something back? It's hard to say. It is hard to say. I'm glad that we do have the actual airfield damage at Clarke, though. That does actually really help out. Indeed. Okay, we do have our forces over here. Yep, unlike the enemy, they have supply. It's jungle rough, isn't it, after all? So we'll keep attacking. I don't think they'll take too long to surrender. I mean, we do actually have a full regiment over here, which is 120 salt value. So they'll win out. There's really no two ways about it. The question then comes down to, like, how quickly can we actually get Japanese forces over here to Burma? I think we could do that pretty quickly, really. As soon as this opens, I can actually get shipping moving this way. But we would be able to do it. I mean, I could even, like, I don't know, desperate situation, like, fly troops into Pegu, potentially, like Japanese forces to Pegu, and trying to build it up. But Pegu's, it's one of those, isn't it? Because it's clear terrain. But maybe we just carry on marching, really. I mean, if the Thai forces are attacked, well, at least they're going to fight. They're not going to fight on advantageous terms, but they're still going to fight on even terms, more or less, in terms of the actual terrain. Of course, everything else is going to be different, but then again, the British don't have that much force in the area, sorry. It might be that we do that. It might very well be that we do that. We do have additional RTA forces moving there, so I can actually reform the first RTA soon enough, which is nice. Yes. This is the only problem here about, well, it's a problem, and it's also a bonus for us, really. Is that just as long as it takes for us to march, it would also take him to march into Indochina. So it's almost like a little bit of a defense in some ways, and it's obviously a hindrance in other ways, but it is what it is, really. Right, so I didn't actually get a chance to intercept them over here, which is a shame. Surprising somewhat, but still a shame. Not seen any patrols out that way, but it's thunderstorms. Okay. Right then, let's go ahead and check on Luoyang. I don't imagine Luoyang's been in great shape. Yep, very little supply over here. Okay. Our own forces then. Yeah, okay. So they're going to need supply, but they do have supplies in the actual unit, so they're alright. Supply will move across here. These units over here then, so fatigue and disruptions of that, of course they did have to cross a river there, but thankfully they were in combat mode, which is excellent. I do have a tank units over here then. Now what we'll take a look at then is we do have an opportunity over here. Due to the fact that these forces retreated to the south, that's actually really good. I can get to them. And the good news is they didn't retreat along this road over here. So what we might want to do then is actually move the armor along this road and try to get as far along as we can, really. I don't imagine it would take long before we ran into a Chinese unit, but if we could actually get any way closer to Xi'an, that would be nice. A good idea would be to follow that up with a division, potentially, to make sure we can actually have some oomph there so he can't just throw us back. But I think what we'll do then is we'll have the tanks move to the south. We'll have a division actually arrive in that hex, which is this hex over here. So there's 10 units over here. They have been pretty heavily beaten up there. That would be awesome. We could really cause some damage there. Possibly even like a shock attack. A shock attack would probably finish them, or at least really, really hurt them. That would be pretty good. Okay, so things actually turned out fairly well there. I had forgotten that we were actually due to have the attack over here in Luoyang, so that's worked out well. So how's the base actually looking? Yeah, no damage, that's pretty nice. But it's not a big base anyway. Nothing really spectacular about it in the slightest, really. We'll have Chengqiao shortly then. We do have the divisions over here then. Just 2. Yeah, there's 9 units over here. There's not a lot of units there. I do have these fellows over here. 35th Division here. So I can put these fellows into combat mode. There we go. And we'll change around the headquarters over here. We probably did have a lot of headquarter support there. So do you see the 2 units over here? I do have a Chinese brigade over here then. A collaboration force. Work with us over here, which is quite nice. And just helping to keep the roads secure. We do have a 15th Division here. Yeah. That's looking good, man. It's looking good. That's looking good. It's nice to have, like, the real opening, yeah, the actual real opening over here in China actually go well. We'll have an attack over here in the north. That's quite good. If we can actually start using up his supply, that'd be quite good. But no, this is intriguing. I think we do push on to onto Bagoo. It might be worthwhile just resting here today. Fatigue and disruptions up there. What's the road like? So the road is a major one, so we can move pretty quickly there. I don't think it makes a difference then, to be honest, if we move now or move tomorrow. I think we rest over here then for the time being. The reason being, it's gonna be quick moving back. Yeah, they're gonna be in combat mode. Well, then again, they could be in rest mode, which is an interesting one actually. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good to know then. Right. Well, what I'll do then is I'll have the 6 RTA remain in combat mode. But I could have them all in rest mode, to be honest. I can't see really why we couldn't do that. But that's actually quite important then. We actually get a chance to actually truly rest them now. They will come under air attack, I'd imagine. So it might be worthwhile just leaving them in combat mode, perhaps. If they get attacked by aircraft, we'll switch back to combat mode, but that doesn't particularly matter that much. There's a lot of units there. If any of them get a decent bit of rest, that's still good. That's worth bearing in mind, then. But maybe it is worthwhile just immediately marching, really striking while the iron is hot. And the issue is we don't really have much of follow-up after this. The best I could do is like send a additional 50-odd AV, and that would be the best I could do for a while, 46 AV. We'd be able to do something like that after this unit had moved across. To Mulmian, I could then have these guys moved across, then at least we'd have something there. Bagoo doesn't require a garrison. Rangoon, I'd have to really think about this, but I think we could probably move upon Rangoon with these forces, maybe. I think definitely a Bagoo. If it makes a stand at Bagoo, then that's good for us. But I think maybe we move to Bagoo, and then maybe we march north to this base over here and try and drive out his support and really try and drive into Burma. Because the difficulty isn't taking Rangoon. Rangoon can fall. It can be difficult to take, of course, but it's not Rangoon that's going to be the problem. It's really digging out the other forces in the interior here. There is clear terrain. Actually, that's not too bad. There's some clear terrain. There's some jungle rough terrain in there, but there's jungle... yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as I imagine, but it would still be a good idea to actually get in there. And breaking... Yeah, breaking in there, taking control of those bases would be nice. Shut off the Burma Road. I think this is it, really. The sooner we can shut the Burma Road off, the better, really. So that's something to take into consideration. But either way, it's looking very good. It's looking very good. I mean, in all honesty, those units that retreated over here, then, he had... What did he have? He had 3 units over here, then. One of them was destroyed, I think it was, and 2 retreated over here. So 2 of those units are just critically weakened right now. Which is actually really good. Okay. So very positive note here today. Something surely will go wrong. But that was very nice, man. Yep, those units are going to be just absolutely devastated. So what we can go ahead and do then is actually try and wipe out some of these Chinese cores over here, actually. Yeah, it will be in Burma. It will be in Burma. Right, so that's Clarke. I mean, Clarke went really well. Besides the actual engineer losses, which is 57, which fair enough, but if he's moving out of the area, that is intriguing. But he had a lot of guns disabled there, a lot of guns. I mean, we had 2 destroyed, 23 disabled. He had 10 destroyed, 80 disabled there, which... he had 486 guns. That's actually quite a good chunk of guns there, knocked out for the time being. So we're going to be bombarding in the turn coming now. So that's good, that's good. He's not going to really have a moment's respite at Clarke, which is good. And that is what can happen there when you actually do have a humongous amount of artillery. But that's good. It might very well be that we take Clarke much sooner than anticipated, really. It would be nice to have Luzon within the January time frame, actually. That would be good. That would indeed be good. We had 2117 there. 788. He's had that reduced there. Yeah, so that's intriguing. Okay. So now the question comes down to, okay, let's say... the question is going to be like, how much does he pull out of Bataan? Really? What does he pull out of Bataan? He might be pulling units out of Bataan that are worthless to rest them, potentially. Not totally sure at this moment in time, but anything he pulls out of Bataan is good for us. He's not moving anything over here at Manila, which is intriguing. But he is moving forces over here. Which is a very interesting one. It might even be that we try to land, that we go for an amphibious landing over here at Batangas, actually. So that would cut these forces off. Would make it easy for us. But I do have to bear in mind the threat that is to Naha over here, sorry, Naga. So what we can do then, we do have forces over here that are available. These forces can be set to take this base, but we have forces over here that have taken these bases over here. So it might very well be that we have 2 Naval Guard units, potentially 3 Naval Guard units moved over here to the south of Luzon, and have them there essentially to make sure that we are not kicked out of the south there. Because we are weakened. We are in a much weaker position than we would be normally. It is interesting nonetheless. Probably is better to march there just to make sure we're not cut off, really. By the way, do you plan on research in the Key 924-2 when you're close to researching X6M8 or the Key 84? Oh, Key 83. Oh, that's a good thing, but I should take a look at the R&D. See, as we've said before, we're probably going to wait until the end of this month and we'll start trimming airframes. The Key 94-2, not taking a great look at it. Is that the one which is it looks similar to the Mustang? Right, so that Rise 46. Says range 3, okay. Range is alright. Yeah, it looks similar to the Mustang, yeah. Great speed, great altitude. Armored maneuverability is not... Well, it's not surprising. Generally, that's just really what it is for the most part there. Gun value is good. We have the... right, yeah. That's the only issue, isn't it, that lets it down there, the wing-mounted cannon. That's the only issue there. Carry a 500-pound bomb. Not bad. Kilogram bomb, sorry, not pound. 1HA44. Yeah, best altitude for any plane in the game. Is it really? Wow, that's impressive. I mean, that's a good consideration of itself, and actually, that altitude there. That's intriguing. We'll have to take a look at it, really. Of course, obviously, Key 95, I was going to say, that's a reconnaissance variant, isn't it? 1,000-pound bombs, yes, indeed. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at it, really. We do have a Key 84. We'll have plenty of R&D facilities, and I think probably what we'll do then is just like let people make the case which aircraft they think would be the best to research and go from there, really. I don't have any hard opinions at this moment in time. So A6M2. Getting there. That one's doing very well at 14. Don't think we've had a improvement, but then again, I'll take a look at the term before. Yeah, that should accelerate us pretty quickly. 0 is not exactly ideal. The 6 is looking good at Nagasaki. D4Y1 Judy. D4Y1C. That 7's very nice. Okay. That Nick is going very well. We're going to have a lot of Nicks. Gary's a big fan of Nicks, and to be fair, I'm a big fan of Nicks actually as well after seeing them. Which Julie are you going for? D6N1? I'm going to save here actually in case I touch something. That would not be ideal. There we go. I'm not too sure without taking a look at it, to be honest. N1 it seems. Still have a 3. Oh, is that at Mambashi actually? Wasn't the previous one at Tokyo? Oh, there we go. Excellent. So we actually do have a second facility now with free progress. That's good there. Free into the 20... Well, obviously free into the 30 there. That's looking good then. So we actually do have Mabashi there, which is caught up to the Tokyo. R&D Centre, that's good to see. I wish we had more freeze, and to be honest, I wish we had, you know what I mean, more would be nice. I've not really taken a look at the Jills. Let's take a look. So when does that arrive? Because that arrives pretty early then. I'm looking at the bloody Cade sign, so that's why. Yeah, 543. 1043, okay. I started playing a Japanese campaign. It's a bit daunting, since I did it without any guys. I'm just watching your videos. It should be fun. Yeah, if you did watch me, you'll probably do okay. You'll probably do okay. It's just one of these things of you've really got to just play the game. It's like I learned a lot from playing against DHG. I've learned a hell of a lot from playing against Dadman. And then in a future play by email, then you put in the experience of what you've learned from both campaigns, really. But I think, really, to understand how to play as Japan, you've really got to get to the point of where you have conquered Tokyo. Sorry, where you have obviously Tokyo is ours. Where you have conquered Singapore, you have conquered the Dutch East Indies, you have conquered Rangoon. You've really been out there as far as you can. And once you've been out as far as you can in the next game, you know how to get there. You know what you need. How you're going to have to do it. You learn quite a lot like that. N1 uses the half 44, the N2 uses the half 32. Oh, right, I see. Honestly, I've not really looked into it. Gary has been the one that helped to shape the R&D, so I'll ask him once, see what it says. Obviously, we can change it and imagine. It is essentially the same aircraft, same type of aircraft, same number of engines. It shouldn't cost us anything to change it, if I'm correct. But we'll take a look. Let's see. Probably just the fact that it arrives sooner rather than later, perhaps. Normal radius is 8. 10, yeah, okay. Isn't it something about the carriers where they can't actually strike out beyond 8 hexes or something of that nature? So 299, 207, 289, 207. Okay, so it's just 10 miles faster there. Yeah. Okay, something to take a look into then. Let's take a look at the actual engine production, of course. I was only to naval strike. Okay, that's fair enough. I didn't know if it was a blanket carrier strike of any nature sort of thing, so that's good to know. Yeah. I can't believe you made that thing. It looked awesome. It did look awesome. Oh dear. Yeah, exactly there, Stein. Just play more. That's the thing. That's what I've always done. Like, people will be able to see that my campaigns haven't always gone amazing. They definitely could have gone better. There have been mistakes made. But at least they are, I suppose you could say, authentic. And then a community experience really is a way to look at it. Like, we all learn. We all learn new things, which is nice. Okay, so I'm looking for 44. Well, that might be wise. We don't actually currently have expansion plans here for the 44. Obviously, we'll have to take a look at that. It's been a while since I went through the actual R&D reasoning. We'll have to get that written up somewhere, actually. 32. We do have some 32 engines over here, okay. That might be why then, really. But, well, it's something to take into consideration. But there we go, we'll call it about there then, actually. It's been a pretty good day so far. We've had some pretty good things happen there. Quite happy about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say a big thank you here to my patrons. Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to read it off here when I can find the tab. And that is Google. Change my tabs around. That's always fun. Okay. So a big thank you here to Ove, Kato, Borsch, Susanna and Daniel, though Susanna doesn't actually know about it. Stanislav, Fonfo123, Alex, Dungeon Gravy, Paradigm Blue, Thunder, Erkkijuusto, Dinglebat4, Baines, KO, BLeAcHACiD, Eric, Wild, Spacht, Imperator Thrawn, Rick Chambers, James Lindsay, George, Kilgore, Iceycrome, Talon1DE, Deepicduck, Raphael, Paul Sanders, SunYan, The Forgotten, Lord Duba, Ricky Blinson, and Gregory VanHouten. Thank you very much there, guys. You are awesome. And girls, of course. So there's Susanna, even though she doesn't know about it, but will not say anything about that because it benefits me. Thank you very much for your support. And of course, to all of you who are watching now, to all of you who are my subscribers, thank you very much. And to those of you who aren't subscribed but do watch the videos, please do subscribe. It does very much help out. It's much appreciated. And if you feel like I have earned your support, potentially do consider becoming a patron, or potentially subscribing here on Twitch, if that's what they call it, subscribing. The thing that helps. Do that one. Until next time, thank you for watching, guys. Let's just see you all in the future. Goodbye for now. Have a good one.